Hey there, Start here. So this week I plan on taking my newly pulled Wilhelm and going into the series boss battles, the EXT versions of the 4 latest series boss battles. I've already done Chaotic Darkness and an X-Death as far as like all missions clears are concerned, but I do want to go back and redo those just because, with Wilhelm, it's probably a unit that a lot more people pulled for, and probably is going to open up the possibilities of getting these trials done with Wilhelm. And so I just want to demonstrate how you can use him to effectively get these trials cleared out. Now, I don't want to do them exactly the way that I did them before. So with Chaotic Darkness, I brought like my Yuna and Penelo and Celeste, and we just did kind of like a straight up light team, and just went that direction. So I'm going to do things a little bit differently here with my Chaotic Darkness clear. We are going to still use some light element, but we're also going to do some lightning element. So you see we have Melissa and Sylvie. So that is so that we have our killers completely covered, so that we have Melissa providing the 250 human killer, Sylvie providing the 250 demon killer, and then Zahn is going to steal and spread those, and Melissa is literally going to just use her LB almost the entire fight on Zahn to maintain his projected mirror, so he can just maintain those killers for pretty much the entire fight. And that's how we're gonna kind of get through this. You notice my friend is EX2, so my friend Finney here he wanted to see if there were any guides out there that had like an EX2 fundamental force that could get it done, and I was like, well, I'll try using yours and see if I can get it done with this team. And sure enough, we can get this done in 15 turns. Is this the fastest way to clear this trial with Wilhelm? No. I'm just doing this because I wanted to try sort of a different team composition, wanted to help out a friend. There's definitely ways you can get this one done faster, but this one was more fun, and it was just kind of, fun bringing this one together. So anyways, enough about that. Let's talk about the team, and then we'll get in there and get it all cleared out. So Melissa is still going to be our provoke unit. Lakshmi Synergy is there just, as sort of a safety measure. She's still going to get some ailments later on in the fight, just because, there's no avoiding it, but it's not a big deal. It's fine. It's not a big deal. We work around it in this clear, but she does need to be death resist for the single target death. That's only if you plan on being below the 20% threshold for more than 3 turns, which we won't in this clear, but it's good just to have it just in case. But she just needs to be 100% provoke. She does not need any evasion because Wilhelm is going to be covering all the damage. So this was just the build from a previous clear that I was working on before I got Wilhelm, but just needs to be 100% provoke. Does not need to be full evasion. That's all she really needs. Sylvie honestly doesn't really need much of anything either. She could probably just be naked. I don't think she really needs too much. So this is just sort of some favorited gear. I don't think she really needs too much here. So all this gear is kind of irrelevant, to be honest. So my fundamental force is built pretty maxed out. Fundamental forces will be dealing the majority of the damage in this fight. So she's got all the clash gear, Kaiser Knuckles for chain speed. I also got this. So this is the new material you can get from the new Clash shop. You should have gotten drops. If you've done the Vision World event, you would have gotten the drops for the new Clash of Wills shop. And you can buy this material, which does a 200% chain speed boost, which is really nice on TDW units like Fundamental Force. So there's an extra chain speed. Promise some childhood for a little bit more chain speed. So she's basically going to hit max, her max cap, in about 3 hits. Like the first 2 or 3 hits, she's going to be at her max cap, which is pretty nice. Otherwise, she hits her killers pretty well, or pretty passively. I'm not using any overkiller on mine. All right, just to demonstrate that you don't need overkillers with this one. So no overkillers, and should be just fine. My Zahn has a dagger in one hand and has another copy of Fundamental Forces TMR in the other hand, just so that he can take advantage of the 50% fist imperil, because his dagger imperil is not going to be have full uptime. You know, most of the time it's only going to be a 30% dagger imperil, except for those few turns where we can use his Magnus. And so having that fist in there, it just helps you eke out a little bit more damage. If you don't have this fist, like if you don't have another copy of Fundamental Forces fist, that's fine. You can use another copy of like Kaiser Knuckles or something like that in there. He also has a copy of this United as One, which comes from the Cow Shop, so definitely recommend picking it up. He's got this vision card. If you got something better, put it on him, that's fine. And then, yeah, 300 Demon Human and LB damage, he is good to go. That's all you really need. Wilhelm does have his TMR, STMR equipped. If yours is only EX1, that's fine. It shouldn't really be, I don't think it's going to make or break the fight if he's EX1. I'm not going to use his 150 amp in the fight. I'm not going to use his 500% LB damage buff or anything. His biggest contribution is of course the overdrive and his leader skill, and he does deal pretty good damage, and he dishes out good damage even at EX1. So I definitely don't think you need an EX2 in order to get this one done. But anyways, he is full evade, so Escape Artist fills out his evasion, and then just some good attack gear, True Vampirism, because he does need a chain cat boost. And then I gave him Kind-Hearted Flutist because it has some water resistance on it, so he has a really good spread of resistances already. He just needs that little bit of extra water and dark to make sure that he is fully resistant to those. Not even the dark so much, because we got the 200% dark buff from Melissa, but the water resistance. So you want to make sure he's got at least, I think, 110, because then that should cover his water resistance fully, because he's going to take all the damage with his Omni cover. So yeah, and he's got Frosty's card on him, but it doesn't matter. Whatever the best card you have for him, just slap that in there. He's good on Demon Human, LB damage, good to go. All right. Now my friend is on the EX2, so this is Finney. This is the friend I am helping out specifically. Just wanted to come up with like a team and a rotation for him to get this one done. He also has a very similar build for his Fundamental Force. Only difference is she is EX2, right? He's got Richt's card, which is a great card for Fundamental Force if you have it. I sadly do not. My Richt is still like 250 shards away from EX3. Probably won't even get him EX3 but, before EOS. That's kind of funny. He does have Overkiller Demon on his. It's not required, but it's nice to have. But yeah, so the way I see it is, even if all you can find is just like a random friend on your friends list that happens to be EX3 and happens to have Demon and Human Killer on it, that's really all you need to get this one done. All right, so let's get in here and see how we do this one in 15 turns. All right, so turn one, we're going to start off. We're going to do a little bit of damage here, just, for something to do. So we got to do our bar dark chair for the dark buff. We'll do our shared immunity for ailment resists and a little bit of water buff. And then we'll do Human Killer on my Fundamental Force. So whichever one is strongest, just put the Human Killer on that Fundamental Force for this turn. Sylvie, she's going to shift. Probably should have started her in Brave Shift, just to make it easier. Paladin's offense, Bolt Egg Basket. We're going to start with Lightning Element for like the first 4 turns. And then we're going to switch over to Light Element for a while. Then we're going to finish the fight on Lightning Element again. All right, and then Demon Killer on mine. Okay. Zahn is just going to do Deadly Daggers, Thick Fog, and Innervating Eclipse. Okay. So Wilhelm starts with a 1-turn Omni cover, so we don't need him to use his cover on this turn. In fact, it's better for the rotation if you wait till next turn to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of damage here and see how we do. Yep, about 3%, pretty typical. All right, so now Zahn is going to, he's going to do Fatal Mirror on my Fundamental Force, because that one has the 250 killers on it. I'll do Elemental Mirror on himself, and that's just to extend his own buffs, because when you do the mirrors, it extends the buffs for 4 turns. Projected Mirror only does it for 3 turns, so it's important to kind of use the mirrors to extend his own buffs to make sure that they don't run out. All right, and then he's going to do Projected Mirror. So now everybody has the killers. Okay. There we go. Yep. Now everyone's got the killers. Great. And Melissa's just going to start doing her LB. She's going to do that pretty much every turn so that we can maintain his Projected Mirror for the entirety of the fight. All right, now we're going to start a lightning ramp. So we'll do our lightning ramp, and then honestly, that's the only thing she needs to do on this turn. Yeah, let's just do lightning ramp. That's all she needs. Okay. Wilhelm is going to do his Omni cover, so he's going to do all of his setup. So Safeguard, Siege Strategy for the 50% Spear Imperil, and then we'll just do like Attrition Strategy, I guess. All right, the Fundamental Forces are going to do, let's do Heavenly Hypernova. Actually, hold on, got to make sure I do it right. So the EX3 one, whichever one is EX3, we'll do Heavenly Hypernova, Limitless, and Supreme, the regular versions, not the plus versions. Okay. And then the EX2 one, you know, if you have an EX2, if both of them are EX3, it doesn't really matter. Just whichever one's stronger is going to do the amps. And then this one is going to do Heavenly Hypernova, Prismatic Field for the amp field, and then doesn't really matter, just like Plasma Storm or something for that last move. All right. Now, unfortunately, my Zahn is only EX2, so his SLB is not ready. That's fine. It would be better if he was EX3, but he's not. Melissa just does her SLB on Zahn, so you can see now that's reduced to 3 turns. Great. We're going to go ahead and use our Overdrive on this turn, all right, because we're going to hit the 80%. Well, I should say we want to hit, we want to push the 80% threshold on turn 4. Okay, that's just, yeah, we want to do whatever we can to make sure we push that on turn 4. I'd rather not do it on this turn. If your team's really strong and you do it on this turn, that's fine, but be better if you do it on turn 4, just because when you push the threshold, you have to switch over to light element. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So I'm going to send Zahn and Wilhelm first, followed by the Fundamental Forces. I'll send my Fundamental Force before the friend because mine's EX3, so we want that 50% Fist Imperil ready to go. All right, so let's yeah, let's do it. There you go, 84%. That's very good, right where you want to be. All right, triple Clever Paladin Strike to refill some LBs. Okay, looking good, looking good. All right, Wilhelm, those counters are fantastic. So each one of those counters does 5 LB fill, and he does 5 of them every turn. So that's 25 LB fill every turn, which really helps with maintaining the LBs here. Melissa's going to go ahead and do another LB on Zahn. Okay, Zahn is going to do, and then yeah, we're basically just going to, actually, yeah, you can just hit reload. I didn't have to do all that. You basically just reload and repeat on this turn, and we should push well into the threshold. Hopefully get pretty close to like 70% here. Again, I'm going to send Zahn first because now we have his SLB, so he'll have the bigger Imperil, and we should be good to go. All right. Nice, nice. We are looking good. All right, Sylvie, again, just fills up everyone's LBs. Okay, so you see that darkness is gathering. All right, you have to hit the boss with light element, or else he will put up, or else he'll heal himself. He'll do a 10% HP heal. So we have to take this turn to just kind of sit back, chillax, and make sure we hit it. Switch over to light element from here on out. All right, so we're gonna do Radiant Starburst here. We'll do Enlightka, and then Galactic Thunder to make sure we hit the boss. Wilhelm is going to go ahead and do his cover again. All right, we'll do Decisive Point Safeguard. We'll do Sacred Spear so that he has a 60% light amp. And then, yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want for the rest of it. We'll just do, like, I don't know, Barlightka. Doesn't really matter. Friend will also do Radiant Starburst. We'll do Prismatic Field just to make sure our field is still up. It lasts for 10 turns, but, you know, good just to do it anyway, so we don't have to worry about it later. And then Galactic Thunder. All right, Zahn, all right, is going to, his Projected Mirror is up and ready to go. So we're going to do Fatal Mirror on himself. All right, we're going to do Elemental Mirror on himself. Actually, Elemental Mirror I'm not so concerned about. Let's actually save that. Let's do, we'll definitely want to do Fatal Mirror on himself. Deadly Daggers to make sure that he has got his mod boost ready to go, and then we'll do projected mirror. Okay, now Melissa can do LB on him to go ahead and start ramping down that cooldown. Sylvie's going to switch. She's going to do Compassionate Night to make sure we have our ailment boost and everything still going. Elemental Vines, Elemental Petals, just to make sure we're good and covered there. All right, so we have effectively switched over to light element, and we'll continue to go light until like turn 12 or something like that. All right, we're not going to use overdrive for this burst. We're going to save that because we only get 3 of them every fight, so you don't want to use them all up. You do have to be a little bit strategic with that. Melissa can just go ahead and do SLB on Zahn. Sylvie's just going to go ahead and shift. Okay. Actually, she's going to, let's just do her regular LB here, because we are going to need to take 1 turn of setup next turn with our fundamental forces to redo their mod boost. Okay, so Sylvie can just go ahead and do her LB here. Why not? So yeah, so we still have all of our buffs. We're looking good. All right, everyone's got buffs, killers. Yep, good to go. All right, so just like before, Zahn and Wilhelm followed by the fundamental forces. Although at this point, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay. Looking good. All right, so we're going to take one more setup turn here. We're going to do cover, siege strategy for the Spear in Peril again, and then we'll do another Sacred Spear. Excuse me. All right, Fundamental Forces, Heavenly Hypernova, Radiant Starburst, and Enlightka. Make sure everyone else stays imbued with light. Friend, since Friend has the SLB coming up next turn, we're going to go ahead and do Hypernova, Limitless, and Supreme. Okay, because we have another, we do have another threshold coming up. All right, Sylvie on this turn can just, let's see, what's Zahn got going on there? He's going to need to do just double checking on this killer. I think they should have 2 turns left. Yeah, they've still got... although I think it's 2 turns on everybody else, right? Just double checking. Yeah, okay. So we still got plenty of time on those. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to re-up. Actually, no, let's do that next turn. Yeah, we're going to do that next turn. Let's just have Sylvie fill up Melissa so that she can use her LB on this turn. And then do her seconds of support next turn for that big burst. Alright, Zahn is just going to... Deadly Daggers, we're going to re-up our Thick Fog, and let's do a Fatal Mirror on himself. Just so we make sure we don't lose his killers. Alright, now we are most likely going to push the 50% threshold on this turn, but we're going light element anyway, so it doesn't matter. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use our second overdrive for the fight. Alright, we got SLB, LB, LB, LB. Alright, Melissa, on this turn, we're going to re-up our dark buff. We'll do shared immunity, and we're going to do seconds of support on... we'll do it on the friend, just because they've got the extra LB buff, so it'll be a little bit more... It'll pack a little bit more punch on them, because they've got the 400% LB buff, so that extra mod boost will go a little bit further on them. Alright, again, we're sending Zahn first to make sure we have our breaks and imperils in place for everybody, and then send the fundamental forces. So, let's do it. Beautiful. Alright, Sylvie can just do triple Clever Paladin, and we'll basically set up and go again, because mine will get SLB next turn, and so we should be able to do another big burst there. Zahn will have to sit out on this one because he's got to re-up the killers with Projected Mirror, but that's fine. Okay. So Zahn, we'll just do Thick Fog, and then we shouldn't have to ever do it again for the rest of the fight, because it lasts for 10 turns. Do Fatal Mirror on himself, and Projected Mirror. Okay, Melissa can do her SLB on Zahn, now that he's used that. Alright, we should still have a turn of cover on Willie, right? Yep, perfect. Yeah, we want to take advantage of that. Okay, we've still got a few turns on those, yeah, so not going to worry about that one too much. Alright, we should still be good on all those amps and imbues and everything, so let's just, yeah, see how we do. Alright, perfect. Okay, so, yeah, Sylvie can just fill everybody up, and we'll just do another LB next turn. So the boss is going to do a 10% heal here. Even though we did hit the boss with light, you have to do it for 2 turns in a row when you pass the 50% threshold. So, yeah, it's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. Alright, so you can see Melissa has been confused there, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. Alright, Sylvie's going to come back to normal. Compassionate Night, Elemental Vines, Elemental Petals. Alright, so we lose a turn of her doing her LB, but it's not going to have any effect on the fight, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, Wilhelm is going to do his cover. He'll go and do another Sacred Spear. We're going to stick with light, because we got to stick with light for at least another... We got to hit it this turn. and then we should be good to switch if we want to after this turn. But we've got to hit it with light for at least one more turn. Yeah, his last action can be kind of whatever you want it to be. Let's do Barlightja, just for something to do. Zahn can now do... He doesn't... Yeah, he did Projected Mirror last turn, so he's good there. Alright, so we'll just do some LBs. Okay. So she's got a 35%. Zahn's still got... Yeah, he's still got a light amp. Okay. Yeah, so we should still be good there. Just double checking myself. Yep. Okay, so we should be good to go here. I'll tell you what. Let's just... Nah, let's just go ahead and do it. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we're going to need to take this turn just to re-up our light amps. I think, right? Do we need to do that? Yeah, so Melissa will just do LB on Zahn. Alright, so that we can start winding that down. Yeah, Sylvie. Alright, we're not quite ready for the lightning ramp just yet. So... I mean, I guess we could switch to lightning. There's no reason why we couldn't switch to lightning on this one now that we've done that. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's switch to lightning. Why not? Alright, let's do Plasma Storm. Double Galactic. That way we can do one more LB next turn. Okay. Zahn, he'll do Deadly Daggers. Fatal Mirror on himself. And we're going to save Enervating Eclipse until we're kind of ready to push. We can do Elemental Mirror on himself too. Okay, so we can do Bolt Egg Basket. Why not? And I'll tell you what, we'll come back here just to make sure we never have to do our ailment resists anymore. And we'll do... Yeah, we'll do the water resist. Okay. So yeah, Wilhelm on this turn then doesn't really need to do... We just have him use his LB that way so his... Well, should he use his LB this turn? Probably not. What should he do? Yeah, let's just do his LB. Why not? That way we can make sure we set up his... no, let's not. No, we should probably do his... Let's do his Shocking Spear and then double Transfusing. That's what we should do. That's what we should do. Yep. Okay. Now I think I've got it right. Okay. Alright, now, you may be wondering why we were going to do the SLBs when their mod boost needs to be renewed. Well, it's just the way that we're going to do it. Alright? It kind of has to happen this way. Just double checking. Yep, he's got one turn of cover. Yeah, it's just the way that that the rotation works, but it all works out in the end, so don't sweat it too much. Everything's gonna be all right. Okay, what we can do here is brace shifted LB. Zahn doesn't need that because it's going to be ready next turn anyways, so we're going to take this turn to have Melissa do Bardarkja. You can have her do like Chronic Flow just to help with LB fill, and then Shared Immunity. Okay. Alright, should be good to go here. Excellent, looking good. You just don't want to push 20%, that's the next threshold. You just want to get as close as you can get to 20 without going over. It's usually not an issue with this team though. All right, so we need to do one last sort of setup turn here. So, Safeguard, Siege Strategy, and we'll just do Shocking Spear. All right, we're gonna have Sylvie imbue us anyway. She's gonna start the lightning ramp, and then do we just like, I don't know, Paladin's Defense and Paladin's Offense, I guess. All right, Zahn's gonna spread killers, so he's gonna do Enervating Eclipse. We'll do one last Thick Fog, and then Projected Mirror, which will last for the remainder of the fight. He should still have all the killers and all the elemental buffs, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay. Okay. And now we're going to do our Hypernova, Limitless Plus, Supreme Plus on both of them. Hypernova, Limitless Plus, Supreme Plus. And at this point, we no longer have to worry about winding down Zahn's Projected Mirror, because we're going to finish the fight on turn 15, so the buffs are all good. But if you're nowhere close and you know, all you want to do is clear in 30 turns to get the materia or something like that, then you would probably want to continue doing her LB on Zahn at this point. But here we're just going to do her Seconds of Support will be ready next turn anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll just do a Bardarkja, Shared Immunity, and I think that's really all we need to do. Another Bardarkja, I guess. Not that it really matters. Okay. Alright, time for our last overdrive. We've got the last one remaining, so let's use it. Alright, Zahn, LB, 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 LB. Melissa will do Seconds of Support on my Fundamental Force, just because it's stronger. And Sylvie will get ready with a triple Paladin Strike to refill LB so that we can do another burst next turn. So this one should get us, well within, within killing on turn 15. And so we'll basically just reload and repeat next turn, because we'll get the 100% Lightning Amp next turn for the kill turn, and you should be good to go. All right, so let's do Zahn and Wilhelm first, followed by Finny and my Fundamental Force. There you go. Looking good, looking good. All right. So yeah, we got the 75% on this turn. We'll get 100% next turn. So we pushed the 20% threshold, but we're imbued with lightning. So, you kind of have to kill him on this one, or else he's going to start healing himself. So luckily we are well within range to kill this boss. All right, we've got everything going for us. We've got our overdrive. All right, we've got, one of our fundamental forces has the SLB ready to go, so we are ready to crank it. We've got 100% amp. We've got our overdrive. Everyone is packing. Okay, we are looking good. Wonder what the attack stat is. 40,000. There we go. There we go. 40,000 attack. Looking good. All right. Finney's looking pretty good too at 37.5. Nice. All right. I love the overdrive. 35. Whoo. And we are cooking. All right, Zon. What are you cooking with over there? 28. Zon, got to pick up the slack. All right. So this should definitely do it. There shouldn't be any issue. I'm just going to do another LB here just to make sure. We used our seconds of support, so yeah, nothing else we can really do. Everyone's got the killers, we got the amp and LB buff, so we should be good to go. Let's kill this thing. All right. We'll see how much we did on the kill turn. Just see how far out we could have been. Yeah, 3.7. So that's like, what is that? About 12%, 12 or 13%. So as long as as long as we were within 12 to 13%, that was a kill right there. All right, and yeah, we didn't use Willie's. We didn't use Willie's big 150 amp. We didn't use any of his LB damage buffs or anything like that. We just used his overdrive. So, and I did that on purpose because my friend Finney's Wilhelm is only EX1, so I didn't want to, overuse any of that stuff, just to demonstrate that it can get done. With an EX2 Wilhelm, you can use his 150 amp on that big burst turn on turn 14, and probably kill the boss from there. Let's see how the damage shakes out, by the way. So yeah, there are the fundamental forces. Like even an EX1, EX2 fundamental force, not too far away from my EX3 one. Obviously 2 EX3s will get it done even faster. Wilhelm doing all right for himself there with 7 bill. Zon just, Zon was important. He's got the big imperils, the breaks, the imperil fields, and he does a little bit of damage. So, couldn't have got it done without him. So there's your 15 turn, all missions clear of chaotic darkness. I will get to the other ones. I'll probably do X-Death next, just kind of like redoing X-Death using Wilhelm, and show you how I would use Wilhelm to go up against X-Death. And then after that, I'll probably work on Vlad. I think I'm going to save Kefka for last. But if you are, if you're really antsy and you're looking for people that have cleared it out, Wanderer has, of course, cleared out both Vlad and Kefka. All missions clears using the new Wilhelm. So feel free to hop over to Wanderer's channel and check out those clears. But I'm gonna do my best to see if I can get Vlad and Kefka done this week. But I'm gonna do X-Death next. So thank you guys so much for following me, and I will see you on the other side.